Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another fun looking puzzle here. As you can see, this one is called A Comedy of Arrows by Vedvart. I don't think I've done a puzzle by Vedvart before, so that's nice. This one, like a lot of them, it just looked intriguing to me when I pulled it up. Again, it's well rated, etc., all that kind of good stuff. So I thought I'd give it a try. Why else would you have to go any deeper into what it is? So let's do that. And as you can see, the rule sets on this thing are quite simple, or very brief. So again, Comedy of Errors by Vedvart, and really the only rules are normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, as we're used to, and digits along an arrow sum the digit in the attached circle. And that's it. So these two guys, whatever they are, they add up, and that's the value that goes in here. So super quick intro, less than a minute it seems there. Let's just get started on this thing. Link is in the description below. Now, the first thing I saw was this big old bad boy, and it looks like this has got to be how we get into this thing, because nothing else is necessarily sticking its head out. So what are the bare minimums? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the bare minimum, because these are pairs. So this just is 9. And we have to put the bare minimums. These are all 1, 2s. So we get, again, 3, 3, which is 6, 7, 8. This has to be a 1. So that's going to work this stuff out. We don't quite know what this is yet, but again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got a 9, which is good. Now this guy must be, with his 1s, staring at this line and this line. In fact, there's a lot of 1s, so maybe we just look at the 1 real quick, see if there's anything that just says howdy. I don't see anything right off the bat, so let's just go what my initial thought was, and let's see how this guy is now being reduced as what it could be. Because these guys have to be a bare minimum of 2, 3. This guy has to be a bare minimum of 3. So we got 3, 2, that's 5, plus 3 is 8. This is 8. So let's put that in. What else? These, bare minimum of 4, 5. This has to be 9. Now, none of these can be 9, but let's try to delve a little deeper on this thing before we get there. This is actually a 3 cell in the same region, which I didn't notice until I just looked at it. So this has to be from 6, 7, 8, and 9, and it can't be 9. So it's 6, 7, 8, which means one of these is a 1, which means this is a 1, because this one can't be. What does that do? It gives us a 1 because of all of these 1s, and that can't be, so this is. Again, none of these can be 1s, so one of these is. I don't necessarily want to put that in just yet. Same with here, one of these is a 1. These having to be from 6, 7, 8, and 9 is not super useful at the moment, so I'm going to pass on it until we can think otherwise. Now, this one here, let's think about it. The bare minimum on these are 2, 3, so this is a minimum of 5, 6, or 7, because it can't be 8 or 9, obviously. I was hoping get a little bit more there, but maybe if we think about individually, what can some of this be? If this isn't a 2, it has to be at least a 4. 6, it could be. Okay, I was hoping we could make that kind of tweak there to see what, or could be limiting to what these could be. But this being a 4 could still clearly work with 6 or 7. Okay, so what else do we have on our list? These guys. I think this is where we need to look next. The bare minimum on these can't be 1, so it must be 2, 3. This guy, so we already have 5. This guy is either 2 or 4 in this case. So that's... Okay, wait. Sorry, I didn't see obvious. Let's go back. 1, 2 here. The bare minimum on this thing is 3, 4, which is 7. Therefore, this is 2 and this is 9, and these are a 3, 4 pair. Now, this cannot be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So the bare minimum here is 5. This guy, well, I guess this could be 5 or 6. It can't go any higher than 6 because, oh no, it can. It can go to 7, sorry. I was looking down here at here for some reason, being a little slow. So this could be 5, 6, or 7. This could be 1, 2, or 3. It cannot, well, it can't be 3, because we have the 3, 4 pair. I was going to say it couldn't ever go to 4, because this can't be 9. So our bare minimum here is looking at 6, 6, 7, or 8. What else do we get out of all this? What about our 2s? Didn't quite give us something. Oh, that 2 here gives us the 1 and the 2. Is that going to be enough of anything? Again, let's think back to what our Sudoku is saying to us and see if there's anything there. We don't want to miss the obvious stuff. One of these is 2. One of those was 2, we already said. And not too much more from that. We don't have enough 3s to get going anywhere just yet. So what else do we have? This guy could still be 6, 7, or 8. Because we haven't put anything in any of these other spaces here that's going to reduce what these can be. The bare minimum here, what we're looking at, is 3, 4, so this has to at least be 7, but it could go all the way up to 8 or 9. So all of that is still in play. I guess technically one of these is a 4, but I don't really, because of this and this. We know one of these is a 4, so that does actually give us an X-Wing, so one of these is 4. Again, not great. Is there any of these other clues I haven't used yet? With this being a 4, let's think about this one more time. So the bare minimum here is 2, 3. We can't ever have a 4, so it can't be 2, 4 or 3, 4. It could be 2, 5. So the question here is going to be, does there have to be a 2 on this? Because if it does, that helps us a lot. Is there any chance it has to have a 2 on it, because it can't be 1, can't be 4. So if it doesn't have a 2 on it, the least it can be is 3 and 5, which would be 8. We can't do 8. So there is a 2 on here. That is helpful because it gives us an X-Wing of 2s, which means none of these can be 2. Well, now we know none of these can be 2s. This isn't 2, which forces this to be 2 and this to be 1. Now that sets this off a little bit. This can't be a 7. This can't be a 6. And where do we go from there? What more do we have? So this is a 2, which means this can't be 6 because we can't put a 4 with it. So it's either 2, 3, which it cannot be because we would have an X-Wing on 3s and kill this thing. So this is not 2, 3, so it has to be 2, 5. Therefore, what? It adds up to 7. Okay. We can also say we do have an X-Wing on 3, so one of these is a 3. What else? Do we get enough with our 1s where we can go any further with them? We do know there's a 1 on here somewhere. What about those 2s? No, I don't think we got enough there. So let's... Well, I don't know if there's enough on here to really start getting into this guy yet. We just know the bare minimum it can be is 1, 3. That's a ton of things that could occur. So, is there anything here, let's say, because this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's either 5 or 6. So I guess we do get a pair on the 5s and 6s. And therefore, this 9 now must place here. And this has to be from 7, 8. So we get a 7, 8 pair. That is somewhat useful now, because this guy here is starting to get pinched. What can it be? 4, 5, or 6? Which means this is either a 1, 3, a 1, 4, or a 1, 5. Again, I don't really like that too much, but does it do anything else for us here? It doesn't, sadly. At least not that I can see right here. All right, we're going to have to keep moving around, see if we can find things. And see, well, okay, where does the 5 go? That's what we needed to see. With these being a 2, 5 pair, we can't put a 5 in any of these, so this is 5. That forces this to be 6, which forces this to be 8 and 7. Now we know what these are, so we can get rid of this stuff. It's 3, 6, and 4. This is not 3. And what about these guys? Well, 7. This is 7. This is an 8, 9 pair. This is from 4 or 5. These are from 4, 5, and 6. Was there anything? So there has to be a 6 up here. Don't know if we get much out of that one. Is there anything else I'm missing here? Doesn't look like it. Let's continue, go back to our column, see if anything pops its head out there. Doesn't appear to. This 4, 5 is almost... Well, let's think about this a little further then. Can't be 1, can't be 2. It could be 3. It cannot be 4 or 5. It could be 6, but it can't be 7, 8, 9. So that 3, 6, I don't know if it does much again. Oh, 9s. Let's go back to basic Sudoku. Sometimes jumping back to Sudoku is something I don't think about when I'm looking at clues, and sometimes that's exactly where you have to go to figure something out sometimes. So let's jump there again. So one of these is a 9, so that is what's happening for us. So this is 8, this is 9. And what else does that do for us? We know none of these are 9, so this is 9. We know none of these are 9, so one of these is. I think that leaves us with our X-wing of 9s now. So let's go down the road and look at our 8s then. So one of these is an 8. Let's just go through our options and see if anything pokes its head out again. Not necessarily. Well, I saw something... Well, I was looking at this column, if there's anything here that's really good. Because we need 6, 7, and 8, but none of those are crossing patterns, really. Okay. What else we got? 7. So this is an 8, 7 pair, which forces this to be a 6, 9 pair. This is not 9. This can't be 6. These have to be reduced to some usable level at this point. They have to be from 3, 4, and 5, and there must be a 5 on it, so it is a 5, 3. There we go, which means this is 8. That forces this to be a 4, 6, 3. And that didn't get us much further, but we're moving again at least. What else we got? Must be something now in these rows and columns. Oh, this 8 here, sorry. This is 7 and 8. So let's start going back through again. One of these is 7. Actually, this is a 7-8 pair here, which I didn't notice until I looked at these, because 7s and 8s here and here are looking into all of these. Okay. Hoping we would have a triple or something there, which we don't just yet. What was the other? Okay, the 6, 7s, and 8s here, which don't... Well, it does, actually. This can't be 7, 8, so this is 7, 8. There we go. I have to think of it in multiples of digits instead of just singular. This is a 6. That's what I'm trying to say. This is 3, which is going to help us here. This can't be 3, which means this can't be 4. So this is either a 1, 4 to equal 5 or a 1, 5 to equal 6. This is left with what? 4, 5, or 6. And it can't be 6. There we go. So this is 6, which means this is a 1, 5, which means this is 4. There we go. Again, we just had to find the right place to look. This is what? It's a given 5. We can get rid of this just to get it a little bit clearer. We have a 5 X-wing. So one of these is 5. 5. This could still be a 5. Just barely, though. Okay. But we do actually have a 5 X-wing looking down here. So one of these is... Oh, wait. That can't be. This is 5. So that does work out, because one of these has to be 5. One of these has to be 5. Therefore, none of these can be... These can't be by Sudoku. 5. Good. What else? I think I'm going to click through these again for a second. We don't have much on some of these digits just yet. But clicking on these, for me at least, it can show me some things where I'm just missing an obvious mark. That's telling me where something must go. Like one of these is a... Well, what are these? We already know what they are. Well, not necessarily what they are, but we know something about them. They are 3 and 4. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9 with a 2 in here as well. All right. Keep trying to wait to see when this guy is going to break up, and he hasn't yet. Okay. So 2, 4, and 5. Well, this can't be 2 or 5. So let's just look at it this way. In this column, we have to have 2, 4, and 5. It's the only thing left over. 2, 4. Oh, no, sorry. The other one? What's the other one I'm missing? 6. This can't be 5. This can't be 2. So we know one of these is 6, and it's not this one. So there we do get it eventually. This is 6. That didn't quite resolve these guys yet. One of these is 6. I guess this one can't be 6. Yeah, so one of these is. All right, we're getting there. We're piecing things together here slowly. What's left here? We need to have a 3, a 4, and a 7, and an 8, and this can't be 8. Do we have any X-Wings that saw this in any useful way? And I think the answer is no. That's a shame. Okay. These are 2, 4, and 7. That doesn't help me. Come on, where are we at? Where are we at? Let's go back and look at our clues then. Did any of these guys get hit with something? 3s and 4s, no. Again, this guy is not quite there yet. Okay, where is it? What's the last bit? Because I think there only needs to be like one more little deduction here to get us going, or to get this thing finalizing. So let's find it, please. No. Very close to some of these things, but not quite there. All right, I'm gonna have to go back through and do another. Again, the ones are almost done. There's an X-wing left over. That's all we've got there. Is there anything in the 2 world? It does not appear to be so. 3s. What are we doing here? Come on. Got nothing there. The 4s, there's a lot still out there for them. No pun intended. 5s as well. Come on, where is this thing? And why does it not want to cooperate? 7s and 8s. What about 7s? Okay, that's helpful at least. None of these can be 7s, none of these can be 7s, so one of these is. That means this isn't. Let's just put that in for a second. This being 6 or 8, does anything break with what we've got left over? 1, 2, 3 works perfectly fine, I think. Yeah, it doesn't seem to break anything. If it's 8, what are our options? 1, 2, 5, which works. It does work. And 1, 3, 4. It can't be 1, 3, 4. Okay, so I guess what that means is there is a 2 on here, right? Because it's either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 5, because the 1, 3, 4 does not work. So there is a 2. It's in one of these guys. And if there's a 2 in one of those, it's not here. So this is 2. This is now from 6, 7, 8, 9. It can't be 8. So one of these is still an 8. Okay. Is there anything further down here we can look at? We have to have... This is just 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. That not being 9, this not being 8. That doesn't do it. What is left on this board? Oh, that 2 here. There we go. 3, 2. 5, 2. That's going to break it. Finally. Jeez. Took a little while because I had to think about how these correlations would affect this cell here. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. These are not... This is a 5, 6 pair, so let's just put that in there. And let's get back to what we were looking at. Okay, that 2 does see this. I just had to get back into the flow of what was. And again, we still have the 1s. The 2s look like they're close to being done. This is a 2, 7. Okay. Did any of these guys... Oh, this 3 here gets us the 4 and the 3. There we go. We can look at what these can be, I think. We must have 6 and 8. Therefore, this is 6 and this is 8. Those, of course, don't cross over. Lots of fun. Okay, we're just going to keep going down this road. One of these is a 4. This is not 6. This is not 4. We have to be there by now. We really, really do. And it wants to be difficult for some reason. If we said one of these is a 7, this can't be a 7. So this is a 6-8 pair. So these are not 6s, but that gives us a 7-9. I don't think that did anything necessarily, but it might be something. 6, 7. Okay, so we can't put a 6 on here for multiple reasons. So this is 6. Therefore, this is 5, and that's going to get this one finally. This has to be a 1-2 pair. So this is our 1, and this is our 2. That forces this to be the 8, which is then going to break everything apart, hopefully. Let's get into this. We got the 9 and the 7 and the 6 and the 9. And that gives us the 7. These are not 7s. This is not 8, so this is... wrong. I was on the wrong setting. There we go. That gives us a 2 and a 7, if I can see. That forces the 7 here, the 4 here, the 3 here, and we must be out of this by now. 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, and 5. There we go. Solution is correct. Okay. Apart from a couple of little spots, especially this 3-4 pair that was sitting here, I just didn't see, of course. That was quite a lovely puzzle. It flowed quite well, again, once I saw some of the obvious things that can happen, particularly when we have a bunch of markings of what things can be. Sometimes I just have to go through the routine to to get through the last thing. And there was actually a fair amount of basic Sudoku that, at least personally, I had to go through to be able to mark out a couple of these little things that then push the puzzle forward. So anywho, enough talking. We solved the puzzle. This is an excellent puzzle by Vedvart. Wonderful. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Help this channel grow. And we'll see you next one. Thanks a lot.